It's Denver and Buffalo coming up here on CBS. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas as we get set here for Week 16 action. This man's going to be busy the next 24 hours, but decided to take a little break before he travels around the globe, making a lot of people happy. And we cannot be happier about the weather here today, partner, because you know, you get to Christmas time in Orchard Park, New York, you're expecting to see snow everywhere. It's going to be right around 0, but that's not the case today.
We're not the only ones who are happy. The players are happy, and so are the fans, that the ones that did show up today. But so the weather's not going to be a factor. And I think you look at the Buffalo Bills. How can they stay in this game today? They're going to receive the opening kickoff. They won the coin toss because they want to get something good right away, get the fans involved, and maybe try to slow down this Denver momentum that we have had for the last 8 weeks with Tim Tebow.
You saw Justin Rogers, the rookie out of Richmond, ready to receive the kick from Matt Prater. Rogers gave the Bills a nice boost in the return game last week. Their best effort of the season. And he's going to bring it out midway deep in the end zone. And here goes Rogers getting past the weight. And Rogers is out to the 33 with a 38-yard return. Prater in on the tackle, the kicker. Ryan Fitzpatrick coming onto the field. Again, they had that hot start to the season. Had them 3-0. He threw 3 picks last week. Went over 300 yards, though, as they lost to the Dolphins at 30-23. That line includes Bell, back for the second week at left tackle. They've allowed the fewest sacks in the league this year. Of course, Fitzpatrick unloads it rather quickly. There's C.J. Spiller in for Freddie Jackson, who was injured in the 10th game of the season and is on injured reserve. Spillers look good, though, here in recent weeks. Number 1 pick a year ago out of Clemson. In fact, will handle it here. He gets stacked up and pushes the football just across the 35. Give him 2 yards. Dennis Allen is the defensive coordinator of this Denver defense, and we mentioned Demetrius Bell. He may see a little bit of Doomerville here today. That'll be an interesting matchup. And what about Von Miller with 11.5 sacks, the rookie, the second pick in the draft last spring? And Dawkins had been questionable all week with that neck injury. He is up and starting. There is John Fox, first season on the sidelines for the Broncos. And they can win the division today with a victory and an Oakland loss to Kansas City. 2nd down and 8. The delay gives Spiller with a little wiggle, and still stays upright as he gets pushed out of bounds by Dawkins, and a gain of 5, 3rd and 3 on the way.
Well, you see C.J. Spiller, this Buffalo offense, they want to have success running it. Levitri, the left guard, pulls, and look at the little counter by Spiller. Now, wait till you get the defender and make the move. That's what he brings to this offense. Just give him a little hope. His speed can get him by unblocked defenders, and we saw it there in that second play of the game, Jim.
Well, 3rd down has been problematic for the Bills in recent weeks. In fact, they have failed to convert on their last 14 3rd down situations. 0 for 11 last week. 3rd and 3, and not even a chance as Choice makes the catch, but is pushed back by DJ Williams.
Pretty evident that what we're going to see, this Bronco defense, they're not going to sit back. They're going to be aggressive. The inside blitz, nowhere for Fitzpatrick to throw the football. And a good heads-up tackle on the outside. DJ Williams squares it up, makes the tackle, but if you want to play this Buffalo Bills offense, a lot of short passes on 3rd down. We've said it before.
That lost 8. That completion to Tashard Choice. And Mormon is in. Eddie Royal, the returner, signals fair catch and makes it at the 27. So that's a 40-yard punt. And here comes Tim Tebow. You know all the stories about the 4th quarter miracles, but impressively winning all of his starts on the road. He's 5-0, including running right through his division with wins in Kansas City, Oakland, and San Diego. His line includes a rookie on the right side, Franklin, who has started every game, the 2nd-round pick out of Miami. And McGahee, drafted by the Bills with their 1st-round pick back in 03. And now he is just 10 yards away from a 1,000-yard season with a 3rd different team. They actually have an extra lineman come in here on 1st down. It's Chris Clark, added reinforcement to the Bills' offensive front. McGahee, who tweaked the hamstring last week, missed some of the action against the Patriots, picks up maybe a yard here on 1st down. The Bills defense with coordinator George Edwards, including the third pick in the draft, Marcel Darius, who made that first tackle. Barnett, who won a ring last year for the Packers. And Wilson, who makes plays in strong safety and has 4 picks on the season. They gave McGahee no gain on that first carry. On 2nd and 10, here's the big hole. McGahee's got his 1,000 yards and a whole lot more. Give him 21 with that carry. Running behind Daniel Fells.
Well, this Bills defense, they worked on it all week long, and look at all the players coming down inside. They're trying to get there to see Willis McGahee. What makes that play so difficult? Even talking to the Buffalo Bills, well, it changes a lot of things that you have done. Fundamentals in the past, you have to change up for one game. It usually takes a while before you adjust.
He becomes the 2nd player to have a 1,000-yard season with 3 different teams. Ball is in for him. Lance Ball, and there's a flag thrown in. Walt Anderson's crew is here today officiating. It was a 5-yard run. As they try to sort this one out, I mentioned that McGahee becomes only the 3rd player to post 1,000-yard seasons.
There's no foul for offensive holding. It's 2nd down.
Okay. So they discuss it and sort it out. And there's McGahee. Ricky Waters did it. He was the only other one to have those 1,000-yard totals with 3 squads. But for McGahee, starting in Buffalo, then in Baltimore, and now one with Denver. Pretty impressive stuff. So the play stands, a 5-yard gain by Lance Ball, who remains the running back. 2nd and 5, and he cuts left, and that move picks up the 1st. Seeing why right now they're the #1 rushing team in the league with some early gashes up the middle.
Well, that rushing leads to Tim Tebow having some easy completions down the field. The split by the wide receiver gets him inside. Look at that throwing lane, because everybody's worried about the play action fake, or the run, I should say, and it makes it easy for Tim Tebow to see, to step up and make those throws, especially to the inside.
Well, here, Phil, to go to shotgun on 1st and 10. 4 plays, 4 running plays, make it 5 for 5 as they go back to McGahee. And he's able to advance it to the Bills' 35, another 4 yards gain.
It's always the same thing when you talk about this Denver offense. It's not going to change here the rest of this year. It's not going to change next year. It's about running the football, establishing the way they play the game, and that's all they talked about. Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, established what we do. We're physical, field position, and run it right at them, and they're pushing this Buffalo defense up front all around the field so far.
2nd down and 6. Buffalo's had a hard time stopping the run in recent weeks, as Tebow's first throw is a completion to Demaryius Thomas.
It might have come loose. This is the exact same play we just showed you in philosophy. Wide in the corner, look inside, nobody underneath. That's why you see Demaryius Thomas always catch, or he's catching so many passes of late, and really good mechanics by Tim Tebow. Makes it a perfect spiral, easy to catch.
Thomas was out the first half of the season, but here in the month of December, he has more receiving yards than any player in the league, and that one picked up 14. And a first down at the 21. McGahee gets outside and cuts back to the middle. Down near the 13-yard line, an 8-yard gain. Nifty move by the veteran running back.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened last week. Look at everybody on Buffalo being blocked down inside. The key block was who, Jim? Again, number 87, Eric Decker, pushing the defensive back inside. It allows McGahee to get outside. We saw it last week. It's like having 3 and 4 tight ends on the field when you look at this Denver offense. Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, very good blockers.
2nd and 2. Tebow still has it, flips it, complete, and Thomas has another first down at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal to go.
Well, when you can't win the physical battle up front, it's hard to stop the passing game. And who is going to, everybody's committing themselves to the run. So when everybody commits himself to the run, Tim Tebow's going to have a lot of time to throw, and it's going to be easy for him to get outside the pocket.
So last week against the Patriots, Tebow took them right down the field. They scored a touchdown on their first drive. Threatening to do so again. First and goal, fake the pitch. Tebow keeps and falls at the 5. A gain of 2. Chris Kelsey had him wrapped up.
Well, this is where I think Tim Tebow, where he really becomes a tremendous factor, that he can run the football from the sprint formation inside the 10-yard line.
Got an injured player. At the end of that play, it was the rookie right tackle, Franklin, and he's going to hobble off. Will Clark has come in for Franklin at right tackle. We've got a 2nd and goal coming up for the Broncos, who have methodically moved down the field. One play of 15-plus yards. That was a McGahee run.
Well, you got to look out for a fake run by Tim Tebow, then a throw into the end zone.
It is a run, and driving to the end zone is McGahee, and a signal touchdown. McGahee's across for the score from 5 yards out.
But why be cute when you can just overpower the team that you're playing against? Look at the blocking up front. Zane Beadles gets a good block. J.D. Walton and the McGahee, he is definitely short of the end zone.
Of course, every touchdown gets verified, and you got to think this one will be overturned.
Yeah,
right knees down, and the ball is not breaking the plane.
Further review.
So, Walt Anderson with a closer inspection, and we'll take a break from Buffalo.
Eco Boots.
We're back after the review, and again, that was Bird trying to jar it loose and also bringing him down what looks like short of the goal line.
After reviewing the play, the runner's right knee was down and the ball was at the half-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal at the half.
There you go. So it is 3rd and goal, and the 11th play of this drive is coming up.
Well, what you have to do, of course, if you're the Buffalo defense, play run all the way and try to shoot the gaps so somebody can get penetration to stop the running play.
Orlando Franklin is back in there at right tackle after missing 1 snap to injury. First 3rd down situation.
A little power by the quarterback.
Tebow looks, cuts in, and the ball's out. Fallen on by a Bronco, and it's signal touchdown. Clady fell on it, but I think the touchdown was already earned by Tebow.
Well, it's just what you thought. Here comes the pulling guard, Chris Cooper. Follow him. That's where the run is going to go. The initial hit is in the backfield, but they can't stop Tim Tebow from falling forward, and the fumble happened after he scored the touchdown. That's their favorite run, Jim, when they get down inside. If you're a linebacker, watch which guard pulls, follow him. Tim Tebow follows it.
Of course, last week we were with the Broncos when they faced the Patriots, and you said he's like having a fullback at quarterback. So you give it to him in goal line situation, he's going to find the hole, and he's going to be able to power across on many occasions like we just saw. Touchdown verified, extra point by Prater is good. There is a flag. Looked like Buffalo may have jumped.
Offsides, number 21, defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The try is good.
So a 73-yard touchdown drive engineered by Tebow, and he takes it across with the final 6 rushing touchdown of the season, ties his own team record for a quarterback rush touchdowns. Elway also did that 1 year. And what an opening drive by the Broncos.
Yeah, they made it look too easy. Everything that Buffalo didn't want to happen, happened. Their offense 3 and out, and they got overpowered on the defensive side by Denver. Give that offensive line there's a lot of credit. They are tremendous run blockers.
Kickoff is coming from the 40 because of the offsides on the extra point. And Prater does not catch this one. It's just a yard deep, and here's Rodgers after a good return on the first one. On the opening kickoff, he's got another nice one here. Give him a 30-yard return to the 29. Tackled again by Prater. He's got 2 tackles. Tuesday, the Stars turn out to honor Merrill Street, Neil Diamond, and more. It's a legendary evening at the Kennedy Center Honors Tuesday. Only CBS.
Well, they got this Buffalo offense. Of course, you always want to score, but you got to stay on the field. You try to slow the game down too. Let your defense sit over there, get some rest. And it was quite evident Denver is going to be very aggressive playing this Buffalo offense here today.
On first down run, Spiller, he's got a hole. Spiller to the 50. Spiller showing his speed inside the 40 and down to the Denver 32. Tackled by Chris Harrison. That is a 38-yard burst.
And the one thing they fear from this Buffalo offense is the speed of C.J. Spiller. I like it when they cut back. And then it's Craig Urbick, the center, gives him some help. But C.J. Spiller has learned when you see the hole, no moves, make it happen fast in the NFL. And he keeps getting better. As Chan Gailey has told us, Tim, or he told us, C.J. Spiller getting better every single game.
And a flag is thrown.
Neutral zone infraction, number 92, defense. 5-yard penalty.
Set up a
still first down.
1st and 5. Well, C.J. Spiller, when we saw the Bills on several occasions early in the season when they had that great start, 3-0, 5-2.
Right.
Spiller was coming in really as a wideout because Fred Jackson was posting incredible number of scrimmage yards. Now Spiller, the last couple of weeks, including against Miami, 167 yards last week from scrimmage.
5-2.
Got a 1st and 5 to operate with from the Broncos 28. And just a yard for choice. We got an update. JB with the Bronco Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp with the update.
All right, Jim, more than New York bragging rights at stake.
Yes, playoff bragging rights. Aided by 12 men on the field penalty. The Giants give up a touchdown. Sanchez to Baker. 7-0. Yes.
All right, Shannon, back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Here's the Jets right now in that 6th position, trying to angle in and win in for a wild card berth. Back here, 2nd and 4. And here is Spiller lined up wide to the right. Fitzpatrick throws to him, incomplete. Williams on the coverage.
Well, when you play a spread offense, a passing spread offense like the Buffalo Bills, and they get all 5 guys, they spread them out, and it's all up to Ryan Fitzpatrick to see which matchup he likes the best. The Denver Broncos know when they see it, they got to play a lot of man-to-man coverage and force Fitzpatrick to throw the football into some tight windows. Make it tough for him to get those easy completions.
Well, they had a 1st and 5, and now working on a 3rd and 4. Can they convert a 3rd down? For the first time in a couple of weeks, no. That was intended for choice. Woodyard knocked it down.
Well, it was the pressure on Fitzpatrick that allows Woodyard to make this, to bat this football down. Fitzpatrick had so many guys around him, he couldn't step into it and put that extra speed on. You can see the football's wobbling. It's a little slow. Woodyard, good play, knocking it down.
That brings out Dave Rayner now. He has missed his first field goal attempt each of the last 2 weeks. This is 45 yards. And Rayner's kick is wide left. For a moment, it looked like it might drift back in. But then it moved back to the left again. So the long Spiller run doesn't lead to anything. 7-0. Denver.
Here we go.
Back with the Broncos. 2nd offensive series of the game. Drove it right down the field, 73 yards the first time they had it. And here's a stick behind the line of scrimmage, but McGahee is able to fall forward for a couple yards. Talked about that rushing attack by the Broncos, and since Tebow has taken over, this kind of bolsters what your point was, Phil. In this 8-game span, this is the best collection of yardage in an 8-game span in a single season, 2nd best since 1987. Pretty remarkable numbers.
Yeah, it is. It just shows you they've committed themselves to running the football. Of course, having Tebow at quarterback helps. They got a young, aggressive offensive line. And this is just the way John Fox wants his team designed, how he wants it designed.
He's going to throw here on 2nd and 8. Tebow fires it. Decker couldn't hold on to it and almost got intercepted. He was hit. Decker was hit by Bird. There is a flag. Bird jarred the ball loose.
Holding, number 78, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Anyway.
Still second down.
Keep your fantasy football season going with Playoff Challenge and compete against the nation for a chance to win $5,000. Sign up now. CBSSports.com/challenge.
Keep Tim Tebow in the pocket. Good job by the Buffalo defense that time. Even though it's second and long, this is different. You're not playing a normal offense. Expect run. React to the pass.
Defensive coordinator George Edwards.
So all the things you've kind of been taught as a coordinator, got to throw them out the window sometimes.
Tebow in trouble, and he goes down. Back at the 14, Chris Kelsey gets to the quarterback. Arthur Moats was in on the action too.
Yeah, really good job by the Denver defense. They know it. Second and long, they react to the screen. Good job of seeing it. And then Chris Kelsey, with that extra time, gets the sack.
And not just a sack that sets him back another 13 yards.
Well, that's the one negative that people don't point out sometimes. Tim Tebow is going to take some sacks. Why? Well, because he can run, and the other reason is very conservative when it comes to making decisions in the pass game.
3rd and 30, and you knew they would be conservative here with McGahee gaining about 4. So 4th and 26 on the way. They had the holding call and the big sack play by that man right there, Kelsey, and the Bills defense is able to make a stand. Brendan Colquitt will come in to punt it.
That'll give him a little confidence, Jim, that's for sure.
Leotis McKelvin is standing back at the 25. Colquitt's punt travels 46 yards. McKelvin picks it up, and he takes off down the sideline, coming back, and all the way back to where they were when they last finished a series with a missed field goal. Back to the 28 of the Broncos. McKelvin sets them up with a 38-yard return.
Return game is clicking for the Buffalo Bills. Good job of diagnosing the bounces by McKelvin, and he times it perfectly and gets going full speed right up the field. Right away, the block's outside. You see the lane. And boy, you talk about Denver. One thing they pride themselves in Denver, their special teams. Not off to a good start today, though.
Career long punt return for McKelvin. Play action and rolling out. Little flip pass. And that is a good gainer for Spiller, who shoved out of bounds.
Well, the one thing I like, Jim, today, misdirection runs and, of course, misdirection passes. That time to fake. This Denver defense is aggressive. They're fast, a little undersized. So I think anytime you have misdirection, what do? You slow them down, and then you take advantage of the fact that they're pursuing a little too quick.
That picked up 11 yards and a first down at the 17. Spread it out on first down. Run it with Spiller. Got a flag. And it looks like it's going to be a call against Andy Levitri.
Holding. 67. Holding, number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Last week, 17 of the top 20 shows on television had something in common. They were all on one network, only CBS.
Well, Andy Levitri, left guard. He's played center this year. He's done a little left tackle, I should say, too. And he's the one that does a lot of pulling for this Bills offense. Very good at it. Knows how to go down the field and make the block on linebackers and defensive backs.
Sets the Bills back to a 1st and 20 at the 27. Brad Smith in a slot to the left. And it's coming his way. Here's Smith. Getting past a couple of Broncos and taking it to the 19, gains 8. Brought down by Chris Harris.
Well, this Denver defense, we talked about C.J. Spiller. Worry about him. But here's the other part of this offense you have to worry about is the screen game all over the field to the receivers, to the tight end, and the running backs. And Brad Smith, good reaction by the Broncos defense, but he does a good job getting those extra yards.
As David Nelson trying to seal the outside. And second down at 12. They empty out the backfield. Fitzpatrick's pass is caught by Clausen. And it's going to be third and about 6 or 7.
Tebow, one thing they do on the sideline a lot is they look at the pictures because they never know what the defense, how they're going to line up and go against them, the Broncos. So those pictures give them a lot of answers between series.
So again, this third down conversion rate continues to sink, going back now to a week ago, 16 straight. Make it 17 consecutive failed conversions. Trying to set up a little screen for Choice, and that will return Rayner to the field.
Well, they really had it set up. Craig Urbick, the center, he gets hurt pulling out here, but they got blockers out in front for Choice. But the throw is definitely short. Sometimes on a cool, crisp day, that football feels a little different. Came out of Ryan Fitzpatrick's, came out of his hand a little funny that time.
This will be a 31-yarder. Rayner changed shoes just a few minutes ago after missing from 45 yards. This one from 31, right hash mark, and Rayner this time, look out, no good. Two misses in the first quarter. First one from 45, this one hook left from 31.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Well, Dave Rayner with his 8th NFL team. He was drafted into the league by Indianapolis. Spot duty with Green Bay, Kansas City, San Diego, Cincinnati, Detroit, Oakland, and now Buffalo. And he's missed 2 here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos get stuck. That's Lance Ball being tossed around by Spencer Johnson. That's going to run out time in the first quarter. And the Broncos start heading to the other end of the field. 7-0 Denver after 1. We'll return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Christmas from all of us at CBS.
Yes, indeed. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Jim Nance and Phil Simms back here in Orchard Park. Starting the second quarter with the Broncos 2nd and 9, up 7-0. And Ball backpedaling for a yard. 3rd and 8 on the way.
You know, when you look at this, Jim, I think one of the strengths of this Buffalo defense, you know, losing Kyle Williams early in the year hurt their defensive line, but they can cover receivers man-to-man down the field. So George Edwards, he's got to put a lot of pressure on his corners and take the other guys, 8 of them, and surround the offensive line of the Denver Broncos. I think that's the best chance they have a way of stopping them and winning this game.
From the gun, Tebow. Ball's caught short of the first. That spells the tight end, and he's going to be about 3 yards short of a first. So that's a second straight 3 and out forced by that Buffalo defense.
Yeah, a lot of good things they've done on the defense. The big thing is don't let the runners get the football and cut back across the formation. They stopped at that time, Jim, and it put them in a tough passing situation. Good job by Tebow keeping it safe, not throwing the pick.
That's the first catch by a Denver tight end in the last 4 games, but it's short of a first as Colquitt's cut. Fair catch this time by McKelvin, and it was 48 yards. A good one. 7-0. Broncos in front. Last week we tried to tip the hand that the Broncos have been woeful in the second quarter, and they gave up 20 to the Patriots. squandering a 16-7 lead. They have the worst point differential in any quarter by any team in the league since 2007. Now the Bills see if they can keep trending that way. Teams prospering against Denver in the second. And it's a gain of about 2 for Spiller. We got an update. Back to JB in New York.
Cincy still hoping for the postseason.
On the day before Christmas, JB, Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, gave to me 11-yard touchdown, JB, to Jerome Gresham. It's 10-0, Jim, 10-0, Jim, 10-0, Jim and Phil. And we're going back to you.
Hey, Jim, we've got some strong coffee back here in the studio. Back to Jim Nance.
Some Christmas caroling. I would chalk that up, too.
We got strong coffee. You have a singing coach here, too.
See if they can top it on the next update. That was good stuff. 2nd down and 7. Fitzpatrick fields the snap and is able to get it over to Stevie Johnson with the first down at the 43. That's a 16-yard play.
Well, Jim, you know, one thing I never agree with a lot is a 3-man rush against a veteran quarterback. That time, Fitzpatrick, because it's a 3-man rush, nice catch by the Aaron snap, new center in there, but he has plenty of space around him. He can see down the field, easy throwing lane, and makes his best pass of the day that time.
Keith Urbick is out at the moment. Colin Brown is the center. And first snap. Oh, the second one also a little scary. Gets to Spiller. Gets away from the first crush and still is decked for a 7-yard loss. Craig Urbick is out, and we're seeing quite a difference here in these first 2 snaps by Brown.
Yeah, we are. And boy, nice job by Ryan Fitzpatrick. But still, Andre Goodman. Good tackle, kept his eyes in the backfield, knew that Spiller was coming out the other side, and he was really the last guy there.
They're saying Craig Urbick is a knee, and he's going to the locker room, questionable to return. So shotgun, look out again. This was the perfect snap. On 2nd and 17, and Choice able to scoot out to about the 47, and a 10-yard rush by the former Cowboy and former Redskin briefly this season. Tashard Choice, who played at Georgia Tech for Chan Gailey.
That's right. Well, and you can tell the difference when he's in the game. He is truly a more north and south runner. Doesn't make a lot of decisions. Just says, I'm going full speed straight ahead and get those extra yards once contact is made.
He led the ACC in rushing in 2 different seasons. He's got the Bills set up on a 3rd and 6. Patrick's pass, a one-hopper. And they'll have to punt it with Mormon. Now 0 for their last 18 on 3rd down.
Well, the protection's not going to be a problem. Again, it's a 3-man rush. And you got the one-on-one outside, but, you know, I can't blame Fitzpatrick there. The coverage is tight, so he very conservative, throws it low, and it's incomplete.
Mormon, the punt from the 47 with Eddie Royal back deep. Royal has an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown already this season at Oakland. Won't get a chance to return this one. Flies into the end zone. So only a net of 33. And the Broncos come back onto the field up a touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. The Samsung Galaxy S2. The next big thing is already here. And by Acura. Acura Advance.
I don't even have to ask you if you've been naughty or nice.
What do you mean by that?
I'm with you too many weeks. Always nice.
That's right. There you go. Thank you, John. 1st and 10.
Spinning away. And one of the hardest earned 1-yard carries for McGahee before Bird finished him off.
Well, that's what I was talking about, Jim. That time, Chris Kelsey comes down the line, and he makes the hit. It's good enough. Outside, coming down, and doesn't let Willis McGahee come out the other side. Look what would have happened if he would. There was a big running lane. That's what hurt them on that opening drive where Denver scored.
2nd and 9.
Go.
And McGahee again is met early. Just another yard. That's it. 3rd and 8 coming up. While we send it back, JB and Shannon in New York.
December nemesis for the Patriots are?
The drive was 82 yards, 63 of it came Brandon Marshall. 19-yard touchdown from Matt Moore. 10-0 Dolphins over the Patriots.
Patriots 35 of 38 wins in December. All 3 losses to Miami. Back to Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, fellas. Brady in that game only 2 for 9 throwing in that first quarter. And the Dolphins, of course, showing a resurgence here late in the season. 3rd and 8. Tebow launches it down the sideline, and the pass is incomplete, no flag. That was Rodgers on the coverage. Decker was waiting for it.
Oh, Decker was gone. It's a touchdown. Watch him, slot receiver. He makes the move. He just runs right by Rodgers. Usually that inside slot receiver runs a lot of outcuts. But he is 3 or 4 yards behind Rodgers. The ball's underthrown. And that is a good job by Rodgers.
And Colquitt forces a fair catch at the 30. So the Buffalo defense has stiffened after yielding an opening drive touchdown. Second quarter remains 7-0 Broncos. Tomorrow on 60 Minutes, a journey to some of the most important sites in all of Christianity on a special Christmas edition of 60 Minutes tomorrow, only CBS. Ryan Dawkins, the safety, the veteran for the Broncos, out re-aggravating that neck injury, not expected to return as Fitzpatrick is over the head of Chandler on 1st and 10.
Well, that's tough now. Chandler that time is open. Fitzpatrick, shotgun, one-on-one coverage, and he overthrows it.
How about Dawkins trying to go today? There's Bruton, who's come in for him, and Dawkins, who had been out for several games, not expected to return today.
Yeah, it's a big deal for the Denver Broncos defense. Brian Dawkins, good tackler, but more importantly, he kind of organizes the defense. Last week, they had a couple of mistakes. They think maybe it wouldn't have happened if Brian Dawkins was in the game.
2nd and 10. They go Brown, Spiller, nothing there. Ridden down after 1. Another update. JB and Shannon with the honors in New York.
Ooh, Flacco.
Ray Rice has 89 total yards, JB. 42 of them came here. Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, 42-yard touchdown, 7-0 Baltimore is rolling early.
17-0. Phil argued strongly about Flacco being a good quarterback. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, fellas. You feel like Flacco gets far too much criticism.
Oh, well, look, it's Joe Flacco. Hand it to Ray Rice to throw it to him, but he throws the ball very well.
3rd and 8, and the Bills break the streak big time. Stevie Johnson taking off. Johnson gets to the sideline and is bumped out of bounds at the 11. Finally, they hit a play on 3rd down, and they do it in grand fashion. This play good for 55 yards.
They sure do. Champ Bailey, you can see they're making adjustments as the football is being snapped. And that allows, it's a zone defense. Nobody really covering Stevie Johnson. And good timing that time. Good recognition by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Puts it right on target. Stevie Johnson's just got to see more passes.
Stevie Johnson's longest play of the season. 55-yarder sets up the Bills at the 12. High snap. Fitzpatrick snags it and hands it off to Choice, who plows ahead down to the 7. Gain of 5.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's shown us he's a good athlete, and he's going to be alert for those snaps from the center. But we saw Colin Brown on the sideline with the coach in between series doing a lot of shotgun snaps, and this Buffalo offense, it mainly works in the shotgun formation.
Well, 3 out of the 4 snaps since Brown has taken over at center have been high. And they're going to go gun here on 2nd and 5 inside the 10. Choice waits, shows some patience, picks up 2.
Well, you said it right. Good choice by Tashard that time, waiting, the patience, and whatever was there to be gained, he got it. You know, when you're in a shotgun formation, Jim, though, unless your quarterback like Tebow is a great runner, it's hard to deceive the defense when you're in shotgun down inside the 10-yard line.
And pick up a first at the 2. 3rd and 3. Fitzpatrick look right, now looks middle, end zone, and almost intercepted. Nelson's out of the end zone. It's incomplete. That ball was tipped by Harris. And let's see what they do here. Rayner's on the field. They're going to go field goal.
Oh, you got to kick it. The coverage was excellent by the Broncos defense. And how about Harris? You're talking about a guy that played well last week. Number 25 against Wes Welker. He was all over him. And this time undercuts Nelson and drops the interception.
I'll tell you, he would have had the pick had Carter not tipped it first. So here we go. 23 yards. And a flag is down. It's going against the Bills. So that'll put Rayner back to a 28-yarder.
False start, number 91. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Garrison Sanborn is the long snapper. Chan Gailey, who did a little bit of that effect himself. He was a long snapper at Florida his senior year after playing quarterback most of his years as a Gator. So Rayner got to be feeling a little pressure right now.
Absolutely. I'm nervous for him.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is Christmas. Rayner, oh, he's got it just inside. He'd been left on his 2 misses. Was threatening to go without goods this time. And the Bills are on the board. We're back here in Orchard Park. Jim Nance, Phil Simms wishing you all happy holidays. The Bills have had now 3 trips inside the Denver 30 and have managed only 3 points. That field goal set up by the longest reception of Stevie Johnson's career, 55 yards. Matthew Willis is standing in the end zone waiting for the kick. They've got Quan Cosby down this week, inactive after fumbling a crucial punt late in the first half last week and bobbling another one. First ever return by Willis. Matthew Willis is tackled at the 22. Coming up, the Spread halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower with all the latest NFL scores and highlights, and it's coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
Jim, we talked about this Buffalo defense last week. Missed so many tackles against the Miami Dolphins. After that first drive, they have definitely stiffened up and got the techniques down to stop this running offense.
This is Jeremiah Johnson, who had a big run last week. 1 big carry to set up a score. And second year back out of Georgia as a 6-yard gain and out of bounds.
That was a good call. Go outside, and you can see right away Jeremiah Johnson. I like him. It's instant speed. As soon as he comes in, you can tell the difference. You want to get outside with the football? Jeremiah Johnson's the guy.
Meanwhile, McGahee is back in. He could work it pretty hard in the middle of the field. Got his 1,000-yard season under his belt in the second carry of the game. Here he goes again, and plowing ahead near a first into the arms of Kelvin Shepard, and it looks like he's a little short.
I asked Nick Barnett, linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, about playing this option, the give and go and everything, and he goes, yes, you definitely have to line up a little different against the Denver Broncos now than you have in the past. And he says, for him, line up a little deeper, a little wider, so you have an extra time to read what the offense is doing.
Denver looking for its first down in 4 drives. Third and less than a yard, and Kelsey's there to plug it. Jeremiah Johnson is stopped for no gain.
Good recognition. It's the exact same play that they ran 2 plays ago. So the formation, it comes out again. You got to know what's going on. You said it. It's Kelsey against Virgil Green, the tight end. throws him off and goes inside and makes the tackle. That is an excellent job by Kelsey.
Boy, that first drive of the game, you would never think that Buffalo's defense would rebound like it has. This is a big punt by Colquitt. McKelvin has it at the 20. Looking for another big return like he had earlier, and he's got all kinds of room. Colquitt up ahead. He is blocked, but Colquitt tries to push it out, and they say he is not out of bounds. Touchdown. Touchdown, McKelvin. 80 yards.
How about the return game today for the Buffalo Bills?
He was awfully close to stepping out. Aiken was throwing a block on Colquitt.
And that is, Jim, you said it, the block there, and McKelvin does the right thing. He does not slow down. He keeps the speed going, and that block by Aiken allows him to go down the sideline. He's in.
There's the big question mark.
In.
Again. Okay.
I think that's going to hold up. Of course, that was a quick judgment.
Well, there are two instances where he is, if he's not touching the line, he's
Ruling on the field is a
bounds.
touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
I mean, how about McKelvin had a 38-yard return in the first quarter, and this one, if it holds up, is good for 80.
Well, let's take another look at it, Jim, and you tell me. That is some. Ooh.
Oh, boy. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's close.
And there's another instance here, too, coming up with the left foot.
Yeah, the left foot, I think it's going to be okay.
Next
that
step
one,
right here.
you can.
Well,
it's the same thing. Boy, they're identical.
I think that one might be out. Fox thinks he's going to get an overturn.
Let's watch from up top. I'll tell you, Jim, it's so close.
It's the heel.
It's going to be the heel, the inside of the foot. The toe looks like it's still in bounds.
Is there enough evidence there? Indisputable.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point. And it's when it comes to a situation like this, it's like a lot of calls on the field. It's a judgment call.
The last time the Bills had a punt return for a touchdown was 2008. Roscoe Parrish, on injured reserve this season.
After he's run the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Touchdown. Just not enough evidence to overturn it, Phil.
That's all it is, Jim. It's a judgment call, and you can't say exactly, yes, he's out of bounds. So I think that was a good call by Walt Anderson.
That's 62 games since the Parrish return of 08. And Rayner on the extra point is good. So the Bills strike on an electrifying 80-yard return. And the touchdown.
Run, Rudolph!
South. I'm Tim Tebow, quarterback of the Denver Broncos. I would like to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. God bless you all and go Broncos.
We were talking to Tim Tebow this week about Christmas. Of course, he'll get back late tonight. His brother's going to celebrate Christmas with him. His parents are down in Atlanta with the sister. And I said, tell me, did you decorate? You get into it? He says, oh, I have four Christmas trees. I've had one up and back since October. Leotis McKelvin has given the Bills the first lead of the day. Eddie Royal is back deep. Willis had returned the last one. Now it's Royal's turn. Now we got a flag down. So this is coming back as Royal is smashed at the 30 and bounces off the hit. Now he's got the kicker in front of him. But there is a flag down as Royal somehow takes it all the way home, 96 yards. Little does he know.
Illegal block in the back, number 81. offense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Wow.
81 is Dante Rosario. It's just, boy, that is a little touch in the back, and it's hard to even see, but he does it to Danny Benton. He's behind.
Did he touch him?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but what happened is you saw Danny Benton kind of move forward, and the call is made from the other side, Jim, so that's why it looked like a block in the back.
Yeah, your point is the official who called it was
in front.
In front, so
yes,
I mean, it really looked like Rosario.
Yeah, it did not look like he hit him.
Backed off of it.
If he did, he just touched him, yes.
So instead of a 96-yard touchdown run back, it's first down at the 7. Squeezing through a hole and up to the 12 for 5 yards. There's McGahee. TV's top comedies? Well, only one network brings you How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, The Big Bang Theory, 2 Broke Girls, and Mike and Molly. Only CBS. Billy Gardell, who guest starred last week in the NFL Today studios, a huge Steeler fan. Got to be happy the Steelers are up 10-0 on St. Louis, playing today without Roethlisberger. 2nd and 5. And McGahee in traffic has another 4. Look at these last 4 possessions for the Broncos, 3 and out. After the first series of the game, marching right down the field and scoring on a Tebow touchdown run from a yard out.
Well, you got to give George Edwards a lot of credit there. The Buffalo defense making the adjustments after that opening drive. And especially up front, the down linemen have been strong, not getting pushed off the football like they did in that opening drive.
It's a long one, needed for the first. Tebow keeps it. And the Bills push him back. It's going to be, it looks like, about a half yard short.
Yeah, it's definitely short.
What is it with the second quarter with the Broncos? Scored 33 points all season in the quarter, in the season, in this quarter. Fewest in the league, 33 by the Broncos, and they've given up the second most points in this very quarter, including 10 today. And they'll be sending the football back to the Bills on a punt when we come back after the 2-minute warning. Punting down coming up for the Broncos, and McKelvin can set a Buffalo team record for punt return yardage in a game by just picking up 3 yards on the punt. It's about to come his way from Colquitt. He's had a 38-yarder and then the 80-yard touchdown run back. And no return, fair catch instead. Excellent field position for the Bills at 1:52 to go. That was a 43-yard punt. By the way, being around Buffalo here this week, some avid football fans, I heard it a couple of times, were asking, hey, what do you hear about Wade Phillips, the former head coach here for the Buffalo Bills, and doing a great job this year with the Houston Texans as their defensive coordinator. Been in the hospital here recently, and he's coming back this week. Just you know, expressed by a number of people. Just want to pass along best wishes this holiday season. Good to see that Wade's getting better and coming back.
Well, he did a good job while he was up here in Buffalo. Took him to the playoffs.
He did. And we wish him all the very best and look forward to seeing him come playoff time. He's been a big part of the Texans' success this season. First down and 10, and they throw it to Spiller, who makes a nifty little high-step move, little hurdle to get free for 16.
Yeah, excellent play. You got tight man-to-man coverage. So what they do is they block Spiller's guy. He comes underneath on the screen. A good starter in a situation like this. A good first play starter. Get the offense going. Get the defense thinking.
So first down for the Bills. Number 42, and it's very dangerous. Going to Stevie Johnson, and Champ Bailey almost able to jump and punt and make what would have been his 51st career interception.
Yeah, Champ Bailey sitting hard. Trying to make the play Here comes, you can tell, it's man-to-man coverage, safety in the middle, and here comes the screen underneath. And that was a good first call. Chan Gailey anticipating the man-to-man coverage. And then Champ Bailey, top of your screen. Boy, good job by Stevie Johnson, break it up.
Really?
They did not do that well against Miami. Caused some interceptions, Jim, because the receivers were not aggressive.
Yeah, Johnson turned into a defensive back and kept the possession going for the Bills. Got an offsides flag coming up here. He was looking for David Nelson.
Offside, number 58, defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Von Miller jumping will make it a 2nd and 5 for the Bills. And again, Sprint halftime report with JB, Dan, Shannon Boomer, and Coach Cower coming your way. All the scores and highlights and the Sprint halftime report.
Here comes the offside by Von Miller trying to get that jump. When you're Von Miller, he gets his sacks and his pressure because he is fast. So he likes that good jump.
2nd and 5. Patrick to Nelson. He's got the catch. And he's down inside the 10. Beautifully thrown by Fitzpatrick. Right over the outstretched arm of Chris Harris and a 30-yard play.
Yeah, it was really good coverage by Chris Harris. There's just nothing you can do about that. Fitzpatrick, it's the inside. You see Nelson going up the field. He goes underneath. But Fitzpatrick throws it up the field. What a throw and catch.
Timeout on the field. Timeout called by Buffalo. The 1st and goal to go for Fitzpatrick and the Bills.
Dumerville right DN going against Demetrius Bell. Thought he was held. Pretty good position in my eyes by Demetrius Bell.
3rd time today the Bills have had an offensive play of 30 yards or more by 3 different players. Plus 3 returns that were big plays of at least 35 yards. Including an 80-yard touchdown. 1st and goal. Fitzpatrick complete to Derek Hagan. And that's a short gainer, maybe a gain of 3. And you may be saying, well, why are they hurrying up? They've got time here. You don't have to panic.
No, you do not. You still have the timeouts, 2 of them left.
So a 2nd and goal from the 4. And they run it. Spiller. He's got a lane and he's in for the touchdown.
I don't know. That could have been a check by Ryan Fitzpatrick. But you got to think it's a run because the quarterback, the running back Spiller, is so deep, it makes you think he's going to come across the formation. When the running back is deeper than the quarterback, it's a high alert for the run.
16 points in 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Rayner actually makes it 17 points, again in less than 6 minutes. And the Denver second quarter disasters continue.
Yeah, good shot there. Boy, nice block on the outside that time. Von Miller goes inside. Eric Pierce lets him go. That creates the big running lane for Spiller. And nice block inside by Pierce. That's what did it.
Pierce, the former Bronco, came into the league.
You got to spread the defense. When you get out of your lane, that's what happens. Von Miller trying to go outside of passing situations, playing pass, goes inside, and that's... Jim, this wall's low enough. You might be able to jump in this and don't be scored.
It's not as high as Lambeau.
No, it definitely is not.
They got their own leaps going here. Their final home game of the year, trying to go 5-3 on the home schedule. When you mentioned Eric Pierce, you pointed him out. He came into the league as a Bronco. He competed for them. He tackled for 4 years. He was at Kennedy High School in Denver and then Colorado State. There he is. Helped clear that wide open path for C.J. Spiller.
He's had a good year at right tackle. There's no doubt about it.
There's Matthew Willis. Keeps it on the ground. And went through Lance ball's hands. And Willis is taken down inside the 20 with 11 seconds to go in the half by Shepard. Tomorrow, the NFL Holiday Spectacular and the magic of NFL films. Get in the spirit with the all-time most memorable holiday moments. Then experience the historical journey of African Americans in pro football on 3rd and Long. Again, worst differential of any quarter by any team in the league this year, and another -17 added to the tally today as the Bills turn things around in this quarter.
Well, the Bills, Chan Gailey said, we're looking for some respect this late in the season. Well, they got it in the first half from the Denver Broncos, that's for sure. What a little comeback by the Buffalo Bills.
And what was it Chan told us this week? We went into the season playing for respect. We got some.
Yes.
And now we're playing for it all over again. Spiller with that touchdown, putting him up 10. The end of the first half with the score. Buffalo 17 and Denver 7. Back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Tim Tebow has thrown 4 passes here, 3 of 4 for 25 yards. 6 times this year, though, he has erased a second half deficit to win. Let's take a look at the Droid Razor play presented by Motorola. It's the McKelvin 80-yard punt return for a touchdown. Colquitt tried to force him out. He tiptoed down that sideline, stayed in bounds, they ruled. And he has the Bills' first punt return touchdown in 3 years. So here at Ralph Wilson Stadium, they actually have just changed it from the Bills and the Dolphins to the Bills and the Broncos.
Some people are a week late. It's okay.
I tell you, I don't think you want to play the Dolphins today. They're up 17-0 at halftime on New England. And here's the run back by Willis. He's tackled at the 27-yard line. Interesting first half. 2 different stories in each quarter.
Yeah, I got to give the Buffalo Bills defense a lot of credit. We'll kind of show what they did in the first half to stop the running game of the Denver Broncos. But during the halftime, everybody kept coming up to me going, what do you think, they'll change their philosophy on Denver's offense? No. They'll stay with it. They'll continue to run it and do what they do and see if they can get a big play and try to manage the second half.
Again, they have a thing for second half comebacks, fourth quarter heroics. Been in this position before. They're going to throw, though, on first down. Wide open. Rosario, Dante Rosario has the big play, and finally tackled by Bird. That's a gain of 32.
Well, there's nobody there to cover him. What happens is everybody's so focused on the run, and if you have the tight end in man-to-man coverage, you've got to, if he releases, you have to go with him. You can't keep looking in the backfield trying to stop the run if Tim Tebow is going to give it to the running back.
Of course, Dante was the one who got flagged for that block in the back that negated a 96-yard kick return. Even though he didn't see a whole lot of contact, and he played for Coach Fox at Carolina. There's McGahee for a gain of 2. First half summary, Tebow with the 25 pass yards. And he rushed for the touchdown. Spiller on the other side with a touchdown and 47 yards rushing on 7 carries.
Really clever first play by the Denver Broncos to get this thing, get some momentum, get your offense feeling good. Instead of just blocking the defender, releasing the pass route if you're playing man-to-man coverage. That way you don't have to block him.
Second down and 8. They're going to throw again. Tebow rifles it in, complete. And that was Bird defending. The safety back there, keeping an eye on Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah, definitely some good cover defensive backs for the Buffalo Bills. Nice job by Jairus Byrd. He's actually going to the football, trying to attack it. Safe throw by Tim Tebow, really over everybody's head.
Thomas played for Coach Gailey on that other sideline today. Buffalo coach Gailey was Thomas's head coach at Georgia Tech, first round pick a year ago. 3rd and 8 from Bills 40. Fake the toss. Tebow keeps. Tebow running for the first. Depends on the spot. Looks like they might have it a little shy. 4th and a foot the way they're going to mark it right now. That was Aaron Williams who came up to keep Tebow short of the first down yardage on the 7-yard carry.
Wow, John Fox has already thrown the challenge flag out there. That was pretty quick. When I was watching it, Jim, I thought it was a good spot at first. 3rd down and long, you have to expect this. Beatles around. How about that block?
Denver is challenging the ruling on the play that the runner was short of the line of game.
Challenging the spot. They mark it about a half-yard shy, and they'll take another look at it. Denver is challenging the ruling on the field, the spot on this Tebow carry that's near the first down, but the replays do not look promising for the Broncos to win the review.
John Fox, he doesn't wait for a replay or anything. I think everybody up top told him it's going to be a first down. Nice little chip shot right over the top.
The play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner short of the line of game, 4th down. Denver will be charged with his first timeout.
It was a perfect spot, actually, when you look at the replay, because his elbow was down right there at the 33, where the ball was positioned in his arm, and the elbow hit. So 4th and 1, they're going to go for it.
Remember, when you want to challenge plays like that, it has to be definitive and sure for them to move the football up a half a yard or so.
Bypassing 51-yard field goal by Prater, going for it, and Tebow straight ahead for the first down. Needed 1, got 2.
You know, Jim, too, you got to remember when you challenge those spots, even if they move it a little bit up, and say if you gain a half a yard, if it's not for a first down, you still lose a timeout and the challenge. I just thought John Fox should have waited a little bit more, got information from our replays to say that they were going to be short of the first down.
Well, they end up getting the first down. They do lose the timeout. Tebow thought about going short. Now in trouble. Looking, throwing, and he's got the completion to Virgil Green. Only the 3rd catch of the season for Green, and it picks up 8 yards. Nice safety valve.
Well, it's just really good footwork by Tim Tebow. They got him cornered. There's nowhere to go. That's Spencer Johnson. He's outside, but what's he do? Oh, he stopped, and a good restart by Tim Tebow. And receivers, when you play for a mobile quarterback, always be ready to stop, readjust, and change the direction you're going in.
Got a 2nd down and 1. And flag is out as they get in on McGahee in a hurry. Maybe they were across too fast.
That's what it is.
Offsides, number 72, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Kevin Hurd, and that would give Denver a first down.
Just watch this defense, Jim. Watch how everybody, they got the edges. They're squeezing everything down inside. That's what's really hurt this Denver run game. Really quick penetration, of course, that time on the outside, but everybody attacking inside, and make sure when you're the guy that's on the outside of the defense, don't let them get out there.
On first down, Tebow to the end zone, touchdown! Touchdown Broncos, Daniel Fells.
Well, it's good. The one thing you can tell, the Broncos have made an adjustment. They're going to use some play action passes and throw it down the field. Not only is Fells open, there's Eric Decker was wide open for a touchdown too.
Hey, so saw Dante Rosario open as well. Tebow with his 12th touchdown pass of the season, matched against only 2 interceptions. So they take their first drive of the second half. Get the same result they had with their first drive of the game. It's Tebow to Fells for the touchdown.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. AT&T. Get it faster with 4G. Rethink possible. And by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com.
The original buffalo chicken wings.
Well, I had a few while I was up here. You got to, right? When you come up here, you got to what the city's famous for.
Daniel Fells, when he caught a pass in the first half, we mentioned it was the first time in 4 games that a pass had been completed to a Denver tight end. Today they've got 4 catches by the tight end position, including that touchdown. It's Rodgers. And Justin Rodgers is finally brought down by Jonathan Wilhite after a 31-yard run back.
Well, Jim, let's look at this touchdown. Here's what happens. Daniel Fells is going right up the middle. Here's Dante Rosario. There's only one defender that can cover it, and Jarris Byrd is caught. So here they come. You got 2 receivers releasing at you. What are you going to do? Whatever you do, it's wrong. And a good throw by Tim Tebow. Good recognition. And how about those halftime adjustments? Usually it's an overused term in football, but the Denver Broncos coming out with a couple of passes that the Bills had no chance of covering down the field.
So now we see the Bills offense. They go again without Urbeck, the starting center, out with a knee. Fitzpatrick's pass complete to Nelson, shakes off the first hit, sidesteps it, and gets near a first down.
You know, when I think of this Bills offense, this is what is missing from it. Play action passes, they need more misdirection. You know, when you spread them out all the time, there's only so many things your wide receivers can do. That's twice today we've seen Fitzpatrick come out of the pocket, and both times it's worked.
And things have been going far better for the Bills offense since Brian Dawkins was ruled out for the remainder of the game.
Well, you take a good player from the other side, it of course always makes it easier, Jim.
That neck injury that kept him out last week, being re-aggravated here. And second in the yard, Spiller pushed back.
Well, there it goes. There's the flag. You hear the whistle. You've got to stop. Such a good play by DJ Williams to stop the run.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 26, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's the rookie Raheem Moore, who's flagged for that one, and that's going to be a big one. It'll move the football all the way to the Broncos side of the field.
Sure it is. It's a big one. DJ Williams makes the tackle. Nice block inside by Carson. And you can hear the whistle too. Oh, that extra late hit. There you go.
Well, that really proved it right there. Ball at the 47.
I might be blind, but I'm not deaf yet.
Patrick to Stevie Johnson. Tries to make the move to shake free from Bailey, who holds his ground, but it's an 8-yard play. Subscribe to NFL Magazine, the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. Available at NFL.com/magazine and newsstands everywhere. Talking to Chan Gailey this week, you know, with this 7-game losing streak by the Bills. He says it's not Fitzpatrick's fault. He's the least of my concerns.
Yeah, and I think it said it. And, of course, Jim, Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills, came out and gave a vote of confidence to Ryan Fitzpatrick. So they believe in him up here in Buffalo.
The draw to Spiller. Got the first down. And Goodman tackles him at the 29, but the Bills are driving.
See, you get a quarterback moving around, you change it up, you throw a screen, and then you give him a draw play, and it's about the speed. Look, there you go. Bruton is unblocked. It doesn't matter. In space, C.J. Spiller is fast and quick, and we talked about it. He says, that's what I've done as a pro. I wait till I get close to the defender, then make the move and get by him.
They go shotgun on 1st and 10. It was a wild adventure at times out of the gun in that second quarter.
Hurry.
Alvin Brown to send it back. And goes to the running back, and Spiller has again a big chunk to the 10, to the 5, and down at the 4. The Bills offense in sync.
It is. It's a run play inside. Look how deep the running back is. He goes inside, and good blocking up front. Chad Reinhardt again. That's Carson coming across the formation to make the block. I like it, like a little wham block, Jim. Misdirection again by the blocking. Gives Spiller a chance to get the run in there.
First and goal to go. 82 yards by Spiller on only 10 carries.
Well, he's deep again, so far it's been 100%. Not this time.
Fitzpatrick complete. Nelson tackled at the 2 by Chris Harris, who has more tackles by any rookie defensive back in the league this year.
He did give up a big pass in that end of the first half, Chris Harris, but boy, what an attitude. You want a rookie. He's just tough. He plays that way, likes to challenge. And I said it earlier, last week against Wes Welker, man, they were fighting out there. And I thought he did an excellent job against him.
Trying to match the Tebow touchdown drive, the touchdown pass he threw to Fells. With their first series of the second half, Tashard Choice is the running back. Second and goal. McIntyre in front of Choice. Choice straight ahead and no gain.
I think this is tough for the Buffalo Bills. Broderick Bunkley in there. You know, Jim, when you're a team that is in the shotgun and you do your runs like that, hard to be physical and just line up and run it over the defense.
There's McIntyre in front trying to take out Williams. Is it 4 down territory here?
I think it is, yes. If you gain a foot, or if you get it inside the 1 yard line after this run, I think you go for it on 4th.
Again, they have Choice as the deep back. McIntyre in front of him. Fake to him, Fitzpatrick. On the run, Fitzpatrick brought down by Doomerville at the 7. Now you'll have to kick it from that far back.
Boy, what a job by the defense. What a job. Well, you got to go. You got to be who you are. And this is who the Buffalo Bills are. So I'm not going to second guess this call. You know, they're not a power run team. I just said it. So they try to deceive you. That's what they're about. But the coverage down the field is perfect. Nowhere to throw.
Doomerville got him. Marcus Thomas helped out. And now Rayner will have a 25-yarder from the right hash mark. Make it 26 yards. And Rayner's kick is good. So they had first and goal at the 4. But they settled for 3. And the lead is at 20-14 for the Bills, resulting in Rayner's second field goal of the game. Spiller doing a lot of the heavy lifting. 20-14, Bills lead it. And Willis is back deep. This is returnable from the 12. And getting the edge, it's Willis. It's tackled by McKelvin. The one that ran back the punt for the touchdown of the first half. 18-yard run back. Tebow and the Broncos down 6.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Give the gift of our fastest smartphones on America's largest 4G network. And by National Car Rental. Go National. Go like a pro.
Well, let's see if the Buffalo defense has made an adjustment after that first drive. Let receivers go uncovered down the field.
Tebow, pass, incomplete. Throwing to Demaryius Thomas. You were talking to Tebow this week. We both were. You were fascinated by his workout regimen.
Well, I think it's important. You know, Jim, you said it. He's almost like a fullback playing quarterback the way he runs. And you can see how he's built. Working out is a big part of his life and a big part of who he is and why he can play the way he does out here in these games.
Does a lot of his weight training with sandbags.
Well, I'll say this. I thought his workouts were up to date and they're for longevity.
Going for the long ball on second down, and it's batted down at the 30-yard line. It was Decker racing down the sideline, and Aaron Williams was right there with him defending.
Yeah, so far today in these man-to-man coverage, which plays down the field, little double move by Eric Decker, and Williams, second-round draft pick from Texas, not fooled. Excellent coverage. In fact, Decker's so aggressive, stops the interception.
Tebow has never been intercepted on the road. In fact, his interception percentage is lowest in the league. Only twice now in almost 235 throws.
Hard to get a lot of guys around the receivers when they're all worried about the run game.
Third down and 10 And Tebow is brought down by Arthur Moats.
Yeah, it's a good job. They keep him in the pocket. Moats is upfield, then he spins back inside. What a good move by Moats, a linebacker who comes in as a defensive end on third down. And the coverage pretty good down the field. Nowhere to throw it for the first down.
So the Broncos come out throwing. Unable to get the pass off on third down. So 3 and out. Leads to the punt to McKelvin. With this yardage right here, he's got the punt return record for most punt return yardage in a game ever by a Bill. That was a 16-yard run back. He breaks the Roscoe Parrish mark for most return yards by a punt returner in a game for the Bills. We have 5:17 remaining in the third quarter. And the Broncos trailing in this one. A lot of attention on Oakland, Kansas City game now. And the Raiders have taken the lead on the Chiefs on a 61-yard pass play to Denarius Moore from Carson Palmer. 10-3 Raiders. While the Chargers play the Lions later this afternoon on the road. First and 10. Setting up screen. Yes. Little pass here. Picks up big-time yardage. All the way down to the Denver 41 with Kevin Brock. Little tight end screen.
Boy, and look how long. They call him in the right defense. It's man-to-man coverage. Here he is. He lets the blockers go by. What a job by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Throws around Elvis Dumerville. I'll tell you, you got to be pretty creative as a thrower, believe it or not, in the screen game because it's over around defensive linemen almost always.
You get Colin Brown, who's been subbing at center, some credit for that play. Producing big yardage, throwing a nice block. Here's another short toss. Going out of bounds with Hagan at the 37. We've got an update. JB and Shannon have the story of New York.
Hey, Jim, Phil knows how vicious this game can be.
Phil, you know running backs can never be overpaid. Dijon Gomes hits Adrian Peterson low on his left knee. It doesn't look good. He was helped to his feet, carted to the locker room, being examined. We do not expect his return. Christian Ponder sustained a concussion. We do not expect his return.
Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Well, that looked really bad for AP.
Yeah, it didn't. It did not look good. You know, running back, it's got to be the most volatile position in sports.
Spiller not even touched inside the 20. Finally, contact near the 10. And the Bills again keep on moving. They're back to the Denver 10-yard line.
Well, you know, Jim, it's they've changed their blocking a little bit, or their offense, the misdirection. And that time, Von Miller so locked up with Eric Pierce, number 79. Watch outside. So he can't even see the running back because Eric Pierce is so dang big. And Spiller, all he needs to see is a little green space or some green turf, and he takes off.
And Spiller's first career 100-yard rushing performance. He got 26 on that carry.
Showing why he was the #1 pick, isn't he?
Gets the ball again, cuts outside, nice move, and then slips a little bit. After a run of 3, Spiller making plays, yes. He is indeed showing why they took him #1 out of Clemson. He's had 3 rushes of 25 yards plus. You know, Freddie Jackson went out early in the 10th game of the season. He was putting up unbelievable numbers. And he's on IR here. And then Spiller got the chance to show what he could do here in his second year.
Well, as Chan Gailey said, of course, running backs like a quarterback, the more reps you get, the better you get at what you're trying to do.
Second and goal from the 7 with Choice at running back. Little pass to Choice, and it's incomplete. Would have lost about 5. Goodman jarred him loose, and he was there to make the play.
Boy, tough to run a screen like that this close to the end zone because defenders do not have to retreat very far. The linemen are out front, but Andre Goodman is just waiting on it. Lucky that didn't turn into an interception, a catch, a fumble, something like that.
Remember, they already in this quarter had a first and goal to go from the 4 and had to settle for a field goal. This was first and goal at the 10. Now we're at 3rd and goal. Fitzpatrick throws end zone, incomplete. Back in the end zone, David Nelson tried to snag that one. David Bruton was there to defend.
Yeah, they got the extra defenders back there. And what happens, David Bruton is on the outside. It's a good concept, but he read the quarterback. What a job by the safety coming off the outside receiver and breaking up the pass.
Looks like Nelson would not have had the feet down anyway. So now Rayner has this from 25 yards out to make it a 2-score game. And we've got a player down. It's Demetrius Bell.
Left tackle.
He's just off the sideline there. Just off the field.
Well, he's done a good job today against Elvis Dumerville. You got to give him and Pierce both a lot of credit.
Got injured on that third down play, protecting Fitzpatrick's left side. And as Vaughn Miller down low on the ground, and he tripped over him. So the big man, the third-year player out of Northwestern State, will limp to the Bills bench, and Rayner now has a chance for a third make after 2 early misses. From 25 yards, the kick is good. And the Bills increase the lead to 9. Good from 25 out. We've got an update. Let's go back to James Brown in New York.
Finally a touchdown, Oakland KC.
Yes, 61 yards, Carson Palmer. The guy just returned, JB. Denarius Moore puts the Raiders on top, 10-3, but Kansas City's driving.
You know what? That name does mean money. Back to Jim and Phil.
You look at the AFC West. We showed you the standings just a short while ago. As you see the Bills drive there, set up by the long run by a Spiller. You know, even Kansas City going into this weekend had a chance to win that division, still do. And of course, both Oakland and Kansas City hoping for the Bills to pull off this game here today and try to end the Buffalo 7-game win streak. That would really make things fascinating out west.
And I'm not even going to try to figure it out until today's over. Because you're right. How about that? All 4 teams in the division have a chance to win with 2 weeks to go.
How about if next week Denver has to beat Kansas City in Denver to win the division, going against Kyle Orton, who opened the season, of course, as the Broncos quarterback. That would be some storyline. Teddy Ward at a 96-yard kickoff return called back because of penalty. Trying to break one here. And he is down just shy of the 30. Tackled by Aiken after a 32-yard run back with a flag. And it's Aiken who was in on the tackle, who's on the field. And another player down back at the 10-yard line.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 36, receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And another Buffalo player is injured near the 11-yard line. That's Cawson.
Yeah, the tight end.
You got Aiken coming across the field with a little assistance, but you still have Cawson down of the Bills side at the 10.
He's going to get up too, which is good news for him, Jim. You know, Scott Chandler coming back today, so that was a big deal for the Buffalo Bills.
Boy, what a sequence. You got Bell hurt on the last offensive snap, the left tackle, then Cawson hobbles off. Aiken, a backup receiver, gets injured here. So 3 Bills coming up limping here on the last couple of plays. There's the penalty. That was called right there. In fact, the penalty happened when Cawson was pushed to the ground.
Yeah, he was pushed to the ground by Bush. That was a good call. That was definitely a block in the back.
Raphael Bush, his penalty sends the Broncos back to the 7. Stutter step move. And a 3-yard carry by McGahee. You know, there's no better way to get into the holiday spirit than with JB and the 3 wise men of football. That would be you.
Wow, thanks, Jim.
Chris and Warren.
Does it hurt you to say those nice things about me?
I always knew you were wise.
I was Santa Claus this past week.
Really?
You know, I deal in the truth as Santa Claus. So I put a big lump of coal in everybody's stocking.
That's shock.
That's what they deserve.
Inside the NFL, Wednesdays on Showtime. 2nd down and 7. And the fake. And looking to throw it. Tebow takes off now. He's tackled about 3 yards shy of a first by George Wilson. Another flag is down.
Holding, number 23, defense. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Aaron Williams flagged for that, so the Broncos get out of the hole with a new set of downs.
Aaron Williams, who talked top of your screen, down the field. Oh, that's it. He was in good position. That's a tough call. You know why? Because he has the right to keep running down the field. Eddie Royal turned into him.
Tebow falls after making the handoff. And Darius brings down McGahee, 1-yard loss.
We talked about it, Jim. This defense, they are collapsing in from outside in, and you got to get the interior defensive lineman. Look at Darius going down the line of scrimmage. Oh my gosh, 320 pounds, great feet, and taking on the blockers. Nice job beating J.D. Walt, the center that time.
Makes it 2nd and 11. Tebow under pressure, goes across his body and out of bounds. That was Darius chasing after him. A Buffalo defense that came into the game with only 21 sacks on the whole season, and 10 of those 21 came in one game against the Redskins.
Inside number 99, staying in there. And you know, last week, it's easy to say after the fact, and you hear a lot of defenses say this. He gets double teamed, and Darius in the middle just keeps, oh man, Orlando Franklin just runs through there. But they had about 3 plays where they were in position to make the tackle. They missed, and they gave up about 180 yards in those 3 plays.
Big 3rd down and 11. Tebow buying some time. Got all kinds of time. Now fires it. Intercepted at the 40. Intercepted by Buffalo's Justin Rogers. The pass was overthrown, and the Bills have the football inside the 30. Only the 3rd interception thrown all season by Tebow.
Yeah, sorry, Jim, but what a job staying, keeping Tebow in the pocket. And let's watch the pass coverage down the field. He wants to throw it. He's lucky here. Chris Kelsey goes behind him. They don't see it, but look at the defenders down the field. This is an awesome job of staying with the receivers. And then Tim Tebow looks down the middle, the overthrow, and then the interception.
First time he's ever been picked off in a road game in his career. 117 pass attempts before he throws his first road pick. And the Bills up 9 are at the 27-yard line. Spiller met right away. And set back a yard by Marcus Thomas.
What a play. Thomas inside. Looked like there was going to be a run. Good run. Gets off the block, makes the tackle.
We've seen some Bills injured here in the last few minutes. As time's running out on the 3rd quarter. Cousin going in. Brad Smith is out with a hip flexor. That report just coming up. We're through 3 in Buffalo. The Bills lead it, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. Pro 2nd-year quarterback Tim Tebow.
You know what, Jim? That was probably the first time I've watched all the games that I thought he lost his patience and tried to make a throw that was a little risky.
Start the 4th quarter off the Tebow interception. 2nd down for the Bills, and Fitzpatrick takes off near a first. Chased by Jason Hunter, but Fitzpatrick is at the 16-yard line and a first down.
Dennis Allen, defensive coordinator, said we can't fall asleep. This guy's a sneaky good athlete, and that's what he is. Moves around the pocket, mainly to throw the football down the field. But if you make him run, he'll get it done.
There is Dennis Allen, who the last 3 years had been the defensive back coach for the New Orleans Saints, including a Super Bowl champion team a couple of years ago on that staff. First down and 10. Fitzpatrick, pocket seal, pass is incomplete. He was going for Chandler, and Bruton was right there with him defending.
Yeah, they got what they want. They've had this a couple of times today. Chandler breaks out. Got to get it towards the sideline, but how about Bruton again? Good tight coverage.
Chandler, such a red zone force early in the year. He had 6 touchdowns pretty quickly on the season. He's still at that number. At 100%, but playing here today. The second down and 10. Choice. Up ahead to the 11. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Man, what a play that time. They were trying to trap it inside. They had it set up, but the defense, Woodyard just squeezes down so fast. Here comes the blocker across. Oh, Chandler, they mistimed it. He never gets across to make the block.
3rd and 5. Fitzpatrick telling us these last 2 games are important to us to go into the offseason with some momentum and stop this skid.
Now wide receivers, they're going to blitz it. Looks like it.
Hey, Graham.
Fitzpatrick checking out of it. Takes the snap, unloads it quickly, and it's dropped. Choice had it. Probably a touchdown. Dropped it at the 3.
How about that? Nice job of seeing the blitz. They changed the blocking. They're going to let the outside man come free. Oh, man, and you're right, Jim. He puts it right on the money to Choice. Ryan Fitzpatrick couldn't even grab the laces. Just caught it, made the throw.
I mean, it was absolutely where it had to be. So now the 6th attempt of the game for Rayner from 29 yards. And that's 3 points. 3 points off the Tebow interception. 26-14, 4th quarter.
Ticket exchange.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Demetrius Bell, starting left tackle for the Bills, going to the locker room, shaken up a couple of plays ago. And they're telling us the knee injury, he's not going to return.
Wow, that's big news. Now you have 2 starting offensive linemen out for the Buffalo Bills.
Their center, Urbeck, out with a knee, and now Bell. It's Willis to the 20. And able to get it up to the 28. Comebacks this season. That's the story of the Broncos. 8 total wins, 6 of them from behind. 5 of them 4th quarter comebacks, and some of them almost impossible to believe. That's Miami, the one against Chicago. How about Prater with that 59-yard field goal to send it to overtime, and of course Marion Barber running out of bounds to extend that game, give the Broncos a chance in fumbling in overtime, but all into the direction of Tim Tebow.
Well, the defense give him a lot of credit, holding the Bills to field goals, giving this offense a chance to come back.
In double digits, they've done that on a couple of those occasions. Tebow's pass. Is it intercepted? There's a flag down as Rodgers has his hands on it. They say he was out or incomplete. Caught it on the rebound. I'm not sure if the ball hit the ground or if he was out of bounds.
Pass interference, number 23, defense. First down.
It's a big play for the Broncos because of the flag.
Well, the one thing, this offense, it's another move goal. They love the move goals. You have to play for them. Wow, that was a nice push off by Eddie Royal, but Williams never turns around, looks for the football. So you really give the official no choice but to throw the flag.
It's a 35-yard penalty, Phil. And Denver Just like that. He's on the Buffalo side of the field. Quick throw. Royal able to slice through a couple of defenders for 2 yards to the 41.
You know, the Broncos really have to change what they were trying to do. You know, so we talked about, well, they'll stay with their offense, but here in the second half, they're throwing the football more than we've seen them throw it all year long.
It's Mike McCoy, the offensive coordinator, been in Denver for 3 years. And before that, he was, in fact, on John Fox's staff at Carolina. So they got reunited here when Fox came on board. 2nd and 8. Looking for options. Tebow backpedaling, and now being taken out of bounds as McGahee has it for a short gain.
Well, good job. Look at everybody keeping him in the pocket, keep chasing. And there comes Shepard, the linebacker. Now the coverage down the field. I talked about it early in today's game. These defensive backs, they can cover for the Buffalo Bills.
So incomplete and no gain, of course, on the incompletion. So it's 3rd down and 8. Tebow incomplete off the fingertips of Eric Decker. And then Wilson had a play on the pick.
Just watch what they're doing, Jim. It's the inside pressure. Here we go, the big guy. I think that's Darius. No, that's Edwards. Here's Darius on the other side. But they stay in front of Tim Tebow, so there's nowhere to step up and run.
That was a very catchable throw right there. They'll have to bring out Colquitt. Broncos have failed to convert on their last 9 3rd down attempts. This one heading to the sideline and then down at the 18 by Lonnie Paxton, the long snapper. Just a 23-yard punt. Buffalo has it at the 18. We're back here in the 4th quarter with 12:06 remaining, and the Bills with possession and the 12-point lead. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms here in Orchard Park. Spiller already over 100 today. Will give back a couple as Doomerville runs him down. What about Jets, Giants, JB? What's the story?
Shannon, remember the old line? What truck hit me?
JB, this is what you call finishing off a run. Mama said knock you out. 17-7 G-Men.
Now all he has to do is pull the air horn. Boom, boom. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms.
All right, thank you, fellas. So the Giants up 10 in that game, and if they were to win their next 2, they would win that division. Meanwhile, Philly is out if the Giants do win that game. 2nd down and 12, going up top. Johnson trying to fight off, get away from Champ Bailey, but Bailey showing you why he's been the 10 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, Champ Bailey's had an outstanding day. Just challenging the throws, a little double move, and then come back for the football. Champ Bailey on the inside. A blitz, putting the pressure on the corners. Champ Bailey coming through. You know, that's what you got to do. Situations like this, can't sit back. You got to take the fight to the other team, and that's what the Denver Broncos did on that last play.
Could be a very short series here for the Bills. 3rd and 12. Fitzpatrick scrambling again, and he may have it. He's got the first down by a yard. 2nd time he's done that.
How about that? He did not wait that time. He broke the pocket and took off. Nobody down the field saw him. Everybody worried about covering their receiver. What a run by Fitzpatrick.
Chris Harris was hurt here on the tackle. He is down, and we've got an injury timeout. Chris Harris shaken up, making that tackle on Ryan Fitzpatrick, who scrambled for a first down. Ryan Fitzpatrick will only have a chance. Putting together quite an impressive day This is the
right arm, shoulder, not sure what it is, but it's a big loss for this Broncos team, Jim. We've talked about Harris quite a few times today.
Fitzpatrick, by the way, helping two area families attempting to rebuild after losing everything in separate fires this year, making their holidays a little brighter. Generous donation through the United Way of Buffalo and Erie County. Ryan and his family providing toys for the children, computers for school, furniture, and much more to help the families on the road to recovery. As he hands it off, and the loss of a couple to Shard Choice. Well, next week, we don't know where we're going to be, but it's the final week of the regular season. We'll be building a doubleheader out of this lineup. And it all begins with the NFL Today at noon Eastern Time, presented by Southwest Airlines. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he knew this was going to be a busy day when we talked to him midweek. Father of three, little Brady, Tate, and little Lucy, born back in March. Goes home today, assembles a bunch of gifts for the holiday. And he hands it off here on 2nd and 12 to Spiller, who is wrestled down by DJ Williams and a loss of 5.
Boy, DJ Williams, Roderick Bunkley, in these obvious running situations, they are getting it done up front. How about this by DJ Williams? Got to be careful here. You pick them up when you got control and try to slam them. No flag, but that was close.
So two big defensive plays by the Broncos, but the clock is running. That first down picked up by Fitzpatrick was worth a couple of minutes. And they've got another 3rd and 7. 3rd and 17, I should say. As he throws on the run, Johnson has the catch, 4 yards short of a first. Give him 13 on the play.
Well, they were playing it by the book a little there, Jim. You know, 1st and 2nd down, trying to run the football from the underneath the center, and we've talked about it. It's just not what the Bills do a great job at, especially when the defense is playing run, knowing that you're trying to, you know, waste a little of the time on the clock.
Ryan Morman ready to give it back to the Broncos.
Blocking.
Well, now they converge and they twist him down. Beautifully covered by Searcy. Norris Searcy, the rookie out of North Carolina, makes that special teams tackle, but a flag is down.
Another rookie defensive back for the Bills. They got 3 of them that are.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 81. Receiving team. They have to distance to the goal from the end of the run. It'll be 1st down. Timeout.
We'll back up the Broncos near the 10-yard line.
Steak Melt today.
Well, if this was a movie, this is where you would cue. This is when you would cue the comeback music.
That's right.
But it's going to be a long road to travel from the 10-yard line.
4 receivers to the left. Big screen play. Nope, not this time.
Tebow's pass is intercepted. Bird has it. Bird with the pick. Bird weaving his way inside the 20, down the sideline, and in for the touchdown. Jarvis Bird picks off Tebow and returns it for the touchdown.
Trying to go for the big play right away. A unique formation. 4 receivers. That's Jarvis Bird just coming out of the middle of the secondary. And what a play by him, reading the quarterback and not hesitating. It was a good idea by the Broncos. If Tebow looks off Bird to the other side, then throws it, it could have been a touchdown.
Just like that, the Bills go up by 19.
Well, Jim, let's go back and just look at it and Bird and see if I'm right here. Here comes one receiver's going to go across the field, but as they come up the middle here, watch the safety Bird. As they release up the field, there's Decker. Nobody sees him, so there's no defender there really that has him. Something went wrong with my clicker. Here we go. I'll just let it run. But if he'd looked up the safety, you could see Eric Decker might have had a chance to go all the way.
The Bills had only one interception in the last 6 games. They've got 2 here in the second half. And this one returned for a touchdown, the second of Bird's career.
Jarris Bird and George Wilson, they've been solid safeties for the Broncos all year, for the Bills all year long. Chan Gailey, what'd you say, Jim? I don't need my guys to play harder. Just need to play better.
Play better.
Well, so far today, a lot of good stuff for the Buffalo Bills.
Gailey was talking about how it's not easy to prepare in a 7-day week for that kind of option attack. The Tebow-led Denver offense, much less when you've got a short week. But man, have they rallied today since being taken advantage of on the first drive of the game. They've been on top of it ever since. Willis. Rodgers brings him down at the 25. I don't know, it's so muddled. You got New England, who has stormed back now from 17 down to tie it against Miami. Pittsburgh's been comfortable all day. They're going to beat St. Louis, even with Batch at quarterback. Of course, he does that so many times. Pinch hitting. We've already given the Steelers the win there.
What do you mean it's muddled? You got the answers to all these things always.
Okay, tell me who's the 6th team. Who's going to win the West as well?
You got to tell me.
Kelsey and on Tebow. Ball is out. Bills have it. Bills running to the end zone with Spencer Johnson. It was Kelsey who knocked it out. Johnson, who was there to take it all the way back for the touchdown.
Well, there's so many things. The interior defensive lineman stopping the run today, and then the coverage down the field. It makes Tim Tebow leave the pocket, and Kelsey, his greatest attribute is his speed, his hustle. He never gives up. And how about Johnson getting that interception for a touchdown?
Yep.
Or the fumble, I should say.
No, they're going to count it officially as a pass, so it is an interception. And I was curious as to that myself. Would it be a fumble? Will the fumble or a pass? And as ruled, it was a pass and an interception. The third one. The Buffalo Bills, who have not won a game in the United States, if you will, since October the 9th. They had that win up in Toronto against Washington on October the 30th. And they're about to have their 7-game skid come to an end in a big fashion, with their defense coming up with a couple of touchdowns and a punt return score.
You know, pressure on the quarterback, that's been a big deal for this Bills football team. They haven't been able to get it today. You know, always a lot of reasons for things, Jim, but kind of goes back to Leotis McKelvin and his return. He got it going. He got the football team enthused. He gave them hope. And it's carried through all the offense and the defense.
Mark that one up as a keepsake. Spencer Johnson will be taking that one home.
There's a lot of Bills fans wishing they'd have showed up at this game today.
That's right. Meanwhile, Tim Tebow has his first career 3-interception game in the NFL or in college. He never had one at Florida. Had a timeout called. Here are the touchdowns. The first one you mentioned, such a huge momentum switch from the McKelvin run back of 80 yards. Spiller from 5 yards out. then 37-yard interception return. And then Spencer Johnson forced by Kelsey to make it 40-14. That was a Buffalo timeout call. It's a little bit what like Denver experienced in the game against Detroit when things started going bad. It became a blowout and it got ugly. That team recovered the next week. He's now thrown. They've had 3 interceptions in the last 6 throws. Having a busy afternoon returning kicks. Not going anywhere with this one. Brought down by Moats.
Jim, I want to go back to the last interception. I want to hear why it is. His arm
never went forward, did it?
It didn't look like it was going forward to me. Football, it does. The football goes forward.
Again, they're ruling it right now. The word we get, official scores are ruling it it was a pass, and I agree with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just either way, it's a touchdown for the Buffalo Bills.
Jeremiah Johnson makes a couple of cuts, gets out to the 24. There'll be no clinching of that AFC West today, and boy, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens.
The Denver offense right now, take your time, be methodical.
That's Johnson out to the 30. And a first down.
Boy, Nick Barnett, leader of this defense, talked about, defending this running game of the Broncos today, and they got to be really happy with what they did after that opening drive.
Flips it over to Johnson and George Wilson. Actually, that was Brian Scott. He was there to bring him down. Just 2 yards gain. Second down and 8. That should be enough for a first down with Thomas. Good for 9 yards on that play.
It's just, Jim, at the NFL, you think we know the matchups. Oh, a team that's hot, a team that's not, and look how it gets turned around.
Flag is down as Willis is out of bounds. Incomplete.
Kansas City beating the Green Bay Packers last week.
Offsides, number 52, defense, lined up in a neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's Arthur Moats.
Over on the NFC side, things aren't all that civilized either in terms of having this sorted out. You got Green Bay, San Francisco. You got the situation now very much alive in the NFC East. Cowboys will be playing the Eagles later today. And if the Giants win, the Eagles would be eliminated. That's an 11-yard pass play to Willis.
But we always have those discussions, Jim, like I was bringing up. The fact that, when we see a clear favorite, the NFL, we see it every single year. We see big upsets by teams that have nothing to gain by winning except pride of doing their job.
I think the 2 biggest shockers of the year, you mentioned one, was Kansas City ending the undefeated season last week of the Packers, and then earlier this year the St. Louis Rams beating the New Orleans Saints.
You're right.
Out of nowhere.
How about the last couple weeks? A winless Indianapolis Colts team beats the Texans and the Tennessee Titans, who needed that victory in the worst way. So we see it every year. It was asked to me this week, do teams lay down? Well, do I have to answer that?
Tebow steps out at about the 32-yard line. No, I think the Colts story says it all. Everybody's been so hot on the story about them.
They'll lose on purpose because they want the first pick.
Andrew Luck, it's automatic, and then all of a sudden, like I say, back-to-back wins. And that's not no sure thing here with a week to go, obviously. Where that pick's going to fall, that first pick overall.
Yeah, of course. And too, and I know all the Bills fans are going to say after this game, how did we lose 7 in a row? Because when you see them play inspired football like they have today, it does make you wonder, but they had their chances. They just didn't make the plays when they counted.
5 minutes to go, and Tebow is sacked again by Kelsey. Kelsey having a very, very productive afternoon.
Tell you what, Chris Kelsey, number 90, he is going after it. Never stops. Way outside, loops around inside, and gets the sack. And that's what's going to happen. We've said it. Tim Tebow's going to make some plays running, but he's going to hold on to the football, and every once in a while he's going to give up a big sack.
And that's the second sack of the day for Kelsey. And that is incomplete with Kirk Morrison, the former Raider, in there, covering Lance Ball.
Well, defensive linemen live for this situation. Big lead. Kelsey coming in again, and Marcel Darius staying inside, staying in front of the quarterback, not letting him come forward once again. But to go back, you saw those numbers, the hurries and the hits and all that. But overall, the protection for Tim Tebow has been borderline outstanding today. Plenty of time to throw the football.
Got to get all the way to the 22 for a first. Zario with the catch. And it's going to be 4th and 2. Picks up 15.
That's what Denver, they're going to look back to a lot of things today, but a couple third and short situations in the first half. You remember, Jim? The strength of your team is running the football, and they were not able to run and pick up those first downs.
We'll call it 4th and 3 for John Fox's Broncos. Inside of 4 minutes to go. Tebow breaks out of it and somehow is able to pick up the first down. Looked like they had him for sure, and instead it's a new set of downs. Rush of 6.
Kirk Morrison misses the tackle. There's two things. Open field, he is very mobile. Whoa, what a job in the pocket, just waiting. And then raises up. Not quite the angle we thought that Morrison had on him, but Tim Tebow faster and really just a more dynamic runner in the pros than I thought he would be coming out of college.
These last 2 weeks, Coach Fox has talked to us about how that lockout this year really hurt Tebow. And this next year, he'll have that full season to work with the staff. Guys like his quarterback coach, who's been so important to him, Adam Gase. Tebow goes to the end zone, and he is intercepted for a 4th time. Aaron Williams with the theft this time.
That was perfect technique on how to cover. He was in good position and waited till the receiver turned, and then Aaron Williams turns around and makes the interception. Watch number 23 to the far right of the screen. Oh, that is awesome. Put his hand out the field where the receiver was. Another double move. When you play the Broncos, they do a lot of them. We've said it many times. Oh, what a job. I tell you, we said it earlier, Jim. 3 rookie defensive backs for the Buffalo Bills. Searcy, Justin Rogers is the sub-defensive back right now. And then Aaron Williams, all of them playing well for the Bills defense.
Boy, Williams was in perfect position on that pass intended for Eddie Royal. And that's 4 interceptions thrown in Tebow's last 13 passes.
12 men in the offensive huddle. Offense. 5-yard penalties, first down.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. This raises the issue, though, once the Broncos were down and these interceptions have mounted. There have been naysayers, as you know, all season long about Tebow as he kept on winning, and people are starting to say, okay, I'm going to take that back. But watch what the reaction will be this week. You know, this is a kid at one time had him on a 6-game win streak, and it has been a very difficult second half for him here today with those 4 interceptions.
Well, you know, Jim, and you can say that especially young quarterbacks, and you're right, people will come out this week and go, well, see, this is going to start happening. We knew it, but hey, look, let's just talk about the body of work. It's been good by Tim Tebow, no doubt. And they built this team, not only the quarterback, they built this team to play a certain way. Well, when that's taken away from you, it's hard to win when you're not talking about the strength of your team. That would be for anybody. It's like asking Tom Brady in their passing offense to say, well, you can't throw it. We want you to win it now by running it. That's how you got to look at it. Switch it around.
Coming out of a Broncos timeout. By the way, the Chiefs have just tied the Raiders with a minute to go on a touchdown pass from Orton to Dwayne Bowe, 13 all. Which one of those 2 teams will keep their hopes alive?
But you know, everybody's sitting there waiting for Kansas City and Denver to play that last game of the year. So with Denver on its way to its 7th loss, just 3:26 to make it official. Baltimore has just won, by the way. Things got a lot tighter with Cleveland at the end than you might have expected, as the Ravens had a huge lead early. Then you got the Raiders, San Diego coming up against Detroit later today. Is it possible everybody in the AFC West could end up 8-8? No, we can't do it. Okay, no, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Just saw the standings. I got 2 things.
All the math. This is like a little Rubik's Cube here, but
no, don't take your shoes off.
Yeah, I'm trying. Counting them all. As the Bills run it out to the 26. Talking about that 7-game losing streak, the depths with which the Buffalo fans were living in that 7-game losing streak. We were there for a few of them. And some of those losses were really ugly. We were here for the 16-point loss to the Jets, then the 37-point loss down at Dallas. They had another couple of losses by 27 points on 2 other occasions.
Right. Well, you know, there's so many things that you know it, the dynamics of a football team. But I know this: the Bills not turning it over on offense was a big deal in this game today.
Got the feeling, talking to Ryan Fitzpatrick this week, that he felt things were really on an uptick. Even with that losing streak in recent weeks, he felt like, hey, okay, well, last week, yeah, it was a home loss to Miami, but he said, you know, we're competitive. We're making some steps here.
They were really honest about how they felt about it,
yeah.
all, which was, you know, usually you don't get that from teams that have lost 7 in a row.
Again, coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher. All the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. And McKelvin, such a big part of it, setting a Bills record for most punt return yardage in a game. Johnson for no gain.
Honestly, I think if I was the Broncos here, I'd wait for the 2-minute warning.
I think that's precisely what they're going to do.
Set. You know, it's well, maybe not.
Well, maybe. Get another playoff before the 2-minute warning. Tebow down the field, got an open man. And that's Thomas to the Buffalo 38. 2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on CBS. And we're back with 1:53 to play. Just had a 47-yard pass play from Tebow to Thomas, but it's going to be a Buffalo win here today, and pretty one-way performance here. You know, you look at one offensive touchdown, 2 defensive touchdowns, and a special teams touchdown by the Bills today, doing it on all facets.
Takes it all to get it done, you know. It really is a tremendous win for a team that's just looking for some positive feelings going into the offseason.
Tebow ball is out. Fallen on, though, by Chris Cooper. It was Moats, who's been very active today, who stripped the ball out.
And they keep getting those positive feelings. Just when you're playing a quarterback that scrambles, Moats again, and holds on to the football. Never give up if you're a pass rusher.
And that's Johnson, only to the 40.
You know, the Denver Broncos, they look at a situation like this, and it is important. Believe me, I played quarterback. All the throws you get, you just keep putting them in the bank. And it does help you down the road. So being in this situation, practicing this with Tim Tebow, it is a plus for you.
3rd down, 13. Johnson got a good block down there by Thomas to pick up the 1st down.
Really one of the favorite plays of the Denver Broncos. That's something that was held over with Josh McDaniels. Running back helps, comes across the field. All the receivers going the other way. That's why he's wide open. Pretty good in the open field, too.
17-yard play. Tebow looking around and throwing it away. That looked so promising at the beginning of the day for the Broncos. Tebow scoring from a yard out. 73-yard touchdown drive on the first series of the game. Had a touchdown pass to Fells. But then the Bills defense started coming up with the picks. 4 of them in all. Seconds. And ball, unable to hold on to it.
Well, we talked about these situations. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you there. It's J.D. Walton and Dotson. Well, I think their face masks were stuck together. That's why it looked like they were fighting.
Tebow to the end zone again for rolling over his head. So 4th down coming up, final 28 seconds. Cincinnati has defeated Arizona by 7, and that eliminates the Cardinals, even with their late season rally. They fall to 7 and 8. What a turnaround by the Patriots today, down 17-0 to now going from 27 to 17 late in that game.
How about their defense? It's just like last week we saw their defense, Jim. They kind of adjust after a slow start.
Buffalo fans want one more defensive play here. Incomplete. And the Bills will take the knee. And we can call it a day. A big day for the Bills, as the Broncos are going to fall to 8 and 7. Meanwhile, Oakland and Kansas City are going to go to overtime, as the Chiefs had a chance to win it on the last play of regulation, but the field goal try by Suckup from 49 yards out was blocked by the Raiders. So they go to overtime. And as we speak at this very moment, all 4 teams in the AFC West still are alive at this moment. So the Bills' losing streak is over. 40-14 victory for Buffalo. Coach Gailey, Coach Fox meet. Final score is Buffalo 40, Denver 14. Coming up next, the Subway post-game show. Phil, Merry Christmas, my man, to you and your family. Jim Nantz and all the crew, Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold, all the technical crew, we're all saying so long from Buffalo. You've been watching the NFL on CBS. Let's go to James Brown in New York.